So guys, I promised that I was gonna do my second video on my journey to Canada. Sorry it's taken too long. So the second time I came to Canada was in February 2019, and by then it was winter. So I landed on Pearson Airport. I remember it was around 9 a.m. in the morning, and this time luckily someone was there to pick me up. My husband was there to pick me up, so there was no much struggle in regards to transport. But sasa imagine kutoka Nairobi, unatoka Nairobi, it's rainy, yeah, but the weather is really okay. Then I land. It's really summer in Apple. It's really cold. So I got out of the airport and I felt like someone slapped me. You know, the cold. It was around -5 or so. Mind you, this is something I've never experienced. In Kenya, maybe most of the highest cold we've ever experienced, maybe it's around 16 degrees. And that 16 degrees, we are like, oh, it's freezing, it's really cold, you know. So I come in, and then again we drove from Pearson Airport to Windsor, Ontario. That's around another 4 hours drive. Again, this was the same place that I went to the first time that I came to Canada. So of course now I had been familiar with the area, but so it wasn't really much of a shock or like the expectation. I knew what I was getting into, so this part was way okay. Then we go to Windsor and life starts. So now I had relocated, or I was relocating permanently from Kenya to Canada. So I come in, the process of looking for work, you know, and you know, now here I am. I have left now everything back behind. No work, no family, you know. The money that you come with from Kenya with is really little. Now convert Kenya shillings for for a small farmer from, meaning the farmer, meaning part of it is like, the slag of back home, meaning you're a small farmer, meaning that, you're not so rich, or you're a middle class. So So now looking for work was not so easy, because most of the jobs that I was applying to, and this is the part that we people are not told about, that when you come to a new country, looking for jobs, it's not easy, because most of the jobs they'll ask for work experience, and you don't have any Canadian work experience. So I applied, guys, until I think now my expectations, I had to really lower what my expectations were. So I had to get any job for me to get the experience fast. And guys, this brings me to my second job in Canada. And guess what? I found myself in a marijuana farm. Bhang, if I may say. Guys, you've never been in a marijuana farm. And now the job I got was around I remember I started working there around April, so it was on the onset, like, it's like the beginning, spring to summer, so it was now becoming a little bit hot. So let me give you my experience at the marijuana farm or the bangi farm. So here the bangi they grow is not like the African marijuana. It's not so strong. It's the kind that they call medicated marijuana, but they grow it really, really, really fast. Like within 3 months, it's ready for harvesting. But how do they do it? So now there are a lot of chemicals involved. There are a lot of heat. I came to realize it's like it grows really good in a lot of heat. So the place was hot. It's like you're in a desert because it's in greenhouses. So they have really insulated, or how do I put it? I don't know much about farming, or maybe farming in greenhouses. Farming in the fields, yes. Farming in greenhouses, no. So like the place is really covered. When you get inside, it's big farm, and they grow the marijuana. For it to grow, or for them to maintain the heat in the farm, you have to, like, they have to use hot water in pipes. So there's this hot water in pipes that is going through the plants, or so hot water, and the outside is hot. So it's the weather would go, or the heat would go up 44 degrees inside the greenhouses. So those from Nairobi, or those from partly, like my life, I lived partly in Nyeri and partly in Nairobi. You know that someone who comes from Nyeri, Mukureni, Nairobi, it's not that hot. So now getting even to 25 degrees, in Nyeri around January, that's the time it's really, really hot. And again, the same for Nairobi. So you can imagine when we are saying it's really, really hot for Nairobi, Nyeri, it's around 20 something degrees, and now you find yourself in 44 degrees Celsius environment. Guys, I sweat until you taste your sweat like this and you realize there's no more salt. The way you sweat, the sweat that comes out is salty. So this now, you're really sweating and drinking a lot of water, because your intake and out, it's like almost the same. You have no idea. This was the time, like, I sat down and I'm asking myself, did I make a mistake coming to Canada? Was this the life that, I'm looking forward to? Because if this is what I have gotten myself into, I'd rather go back home. And now, guys, these are part of the things that we never get to know, or we have not prepared ourselves psychologically for. These marijuana, even after the usage of so many chemicals and what have you, they get these small bags, like the bags that we get in Sukuma Wiki, those small. So they get so many bags like that, and the marijuana is like big. It's growing big, like tall. So you have to go now removing leaves with these things, or sometimes they're asking you, because now you've removed a lot of leaves until there's no more to be removed. Now they're asking you to go killing the bugs inside, or those small insects on the leaves. You kill them. It's like those things that you are getting children on the hair because the hair is dirty, or what are they called in Kikuyu? Da, I don't know if you like it. So you're killing them until in the night you're dreaming about them. And it wasn't so easy. Oh my God, it's not an experience that I would want someone to experience. But at one point, before you get the experiences here, you might find yourself doing some jobs that you really didn't expect yourself doing ever. But again, this is something that really, really, really humbles you.
Mommy, that's ice cream.
Okay? Thank you. Go watch your Coco. So, like, you learn to appreciate things. You really, really learn how to appreciate things. No? So, I know you might be surprised and asking yourself how, like, it's possible for people to work in marijuana farms here. Oh, there are so many farms, and people do work in them. Like there's marijuana, there's cucumbers, there's tomatoes, there's onions, there's carrots, there's all that, or what have you, and people work there. So it's something that you learn, that here a job is a job. And unfortunately, our families, even when you're going through this kind of stuff here abroad, back home, families have expectations. I know you've had people talking from Middle East and Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Dubai. You've had people having bad experiences with family, and I don't want to refute that these things happen. They do. Because when family think of someone abroad, the expectation is that these people are getting a lot of money. Yes, I won't deny there's money here. But bills are the same, The way you get, it's the way you use. For example, a 2-bedroom house or apartment here, if I may put it. Apartment is it's a little bit cheaper than a house. Like a 2-bedroom apartment here, you're ranging from $1,500. That's around roughly 150,000 Kenya shillings. You've not paid car insurance, which you're paying monthly. You've not paid food. There's no clothing. There's no gas for the car. So that's the same way you use that money. And we might think life is easy, but unfortunately our families don't tell us these experiences. So for me to share this is for people to understand that yes, people go abroad, but sometimes people do suffer in silence. And why do they suffer in silence? Because you cannot really tell someone who has expectations of you, or who is expecting money from you, that this is what I'm going through. They won't believe you. I would like to think, or to think that these people, even who suffer in Saudi And I'm sorry to Saudi, unfortunately, because that is now the things that we see on social media back home in Kenya. Maybe they're always telling their families about this. And, oh, mama, I'm suffering. Oh, my brother, I'm suffering. But because the family is expecting to get money from them or expecting to get something at the end of the month, they don't care. So I think it's just something that people need to change. This mentality of someone is abroad, someone has a lot of money. It takes effort, it takes sacrifice for someone to take their $100 and send someone. And it takes a lot of sacrifice for someone to even save to buy something back home. And again, families, please. Oh, spare these people who are, working outside the country and sending you money and you're eating it. Please have some sympathy, have some love, if I might call it. Don't just see them as cash cows. And I'm sorry to use those hard terms, but I'm just calling it as it is. So yeah, this is my second experience. Okay, so this was just to give you a clear or just an understanding of what really happens. But very soon we'll start having some fun videos of the outside. We are in summer now. So now I can start showing you how it is on the outside, how we do our shopping. Yeah, thank you guys.